Uh-oh.
Mr. Miller, you're fast becoming a thorn in my side.
Shit.
I cannot stress this enough. Out-of-bounds areas are forbidden to the public.
I know, man.
You must
I know.
not enter these areas.
I know.
With everything happening in the facility today, I don't have the time to deal with a disruptive journalist.
You're totally right. My bad.
You're on a final warning, Mr. Miller. If this happens again, you will be removed from the premises. Go to your meetings, take your notes, and finish your report.
Okay. Yep.
That is it. Okay?
Yeah, you got it. You got
Your
it.
next meeting is in the Meta Center with Chance Crow, and he isn't a person you want to get on the wrong side of.
Mm-hmm. $10 minutes. God. H. Miller. It's the same. Oh man, there's some weird glitches in this game. Okay, well. Do we have... Hello. We don't have clearance for this room. Okay. We only have 10 minutes left, so there's... We do one of two things. Go here, I think. Piano above somewhere. We found that loft, which seems to be hinted at in that last note. The thing is that...
Oh, Mr. Miller.
Oh. He's not in his post anymore. Remember when he spotted us going into the garage? What do we want to do? Go check that car. I think I want to go back up. And there was the, there's Steve.
Floppy disk detected.
Wait, do I need to keep this disk? I can't remember. No, I think we're fine.
Floppy disk detected.
Oh, shit! Ah, God. Nightmare. Hey. Look at him. Oh, hello. I'm in so much trouble. Please be somewhere helpful.
Is someone in here?
Nope. Oh, damn.
Floppy disk detected.
Chance Crow's
Attend
office.
floppy disk detected.
What was that?
Oh, God. This is so bad.
Hello?
I'm stuck between these two.
Never mind. Hey, Dan, I saw Mr. Miller in that bath area.
Uh-oh.
I'll have a look around and see if I can find him.
I wonder if that means he's just gonna, like, confront me now. Come on. Where does this go? So dark. Oh, I see. Basement servers. All I'm trying to do is see if we can get up into that upper area. I have 6 minutes only. I do not think I'm going to have enough time. Let's maybe head through here.
Please enter PIN.
He's not there. Of course, that sound could be him.
Code accepted. Access granted.
Ugh. He's back, just conveniently in time. Oh, maybe he doesn't see us? Wow. Don't want to sit in here.
Mr. Miller, your meeting is in 10 minutes. Don't be late.
I got a letter. This is real sketchy. Bowman interview 4. Okay. Now I have to somehow get out of here without him seeing me? I'm screwed. Oh, maybe not. Okay, we might get something done here. I gotta see what this note is. And, play this tape. Is it this? No. DSC, no. Risk assessment, no. Where does it go? Okay, well, maybe it's nothing then. See, we have this observation about his car, so I thought maybe it was important, but... Weird. Alright, I'm gonna run back to that original area and play this tape that we found. Bowman interview 4.
Well, here's where I'm getting
3
lost,
minutes.
Mr. Bowman. Mrs. Carson tells me that she did talk to you about Alex Dubois, that he'd come to her asking for help, and that you knew how unstable he was.
I had no way of knowing what was in his mind.
Didn't you trust Scarlett's opinion?
It's not like that. We haven't agreed on many things for a long while now. I had no reason to think there was anything wrong, because Scarlett overreacts to most conversations we have.
And that's why you don't work together anymore.
She doesn't work here because her interests were different from that of the company's, and it was becoming far too present in the workplace.
So, she was a sympathizer?
Something like that, yes.
Was she involved with Mr. Dubois?
I couldn't tell you.
But do you think she was?
What do you mean
To
involved?
the best of your knowledge, did she have anything to do with the
Oh.
attack?
Honestly, I don't think she's capable of something so terrible.
Well, that's
That
good to hear at least.
Being said, I didn't think Alex was either. So, how wrong can you be?
Well, I don't suppose this will matter once she's sold all of her shares. She doesn't seem to want anything more to do with the Union Act or the Bowman Carson facility.
What do you mean by that?
She didn't tell you? Michael left his share of the company to Scarlett. That, along with her 5% share, makes her the control.
Whoa, interesting.
Doesn't it?
I doubt very much that that's the case. Michael and I had an agreement, and Scarlett hasn't received the will yet. So I'm sure she'll be in for a surprise when she does.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. She seems very confident.
If that's all, Detective,
Frick, we gotta
I think
go.
you've taken up quite enough of my time.
Thank you for all of your time. We may be in touch again if anything else comes up, Mr. Bowman, so keep the diary free.
Damn. So there's a bunch of these tapes that we did not find. But we got a lot of other stuff done. So I feel pretty okay about things. We've got a lot of questions to ask.
Hey, man. I saw you in the restricted area
Steve,
earlier, but you
come on,
got
bro.
away before I could speak.
I'm sorry, man. I gotta go
You
real bad.
really can't be fooling around, Mr. Miller. You gotta keep out of those zones.
I got you, buddy. Thank you. Oh, God. Crow 201. Let's go.
Opening.
I don't know how, like, stickler for time they are. Like, if I'm, like, a couple minutes late, they're probably fine, but I don't know. Is that... I don't know if we should be risking it.
Doors opening.
Hello, Mr. Miller.
Hey!
Right on time.
Yeah, hey. What's up? Should I, sit here, or... You want me to sit here, maybe?
I don't know why you want to talk to me. but
Punctual.
I've been told I have to accommodate you. I do hope you have something interesting to ask.
I got a lot of interesting things to ask.
This is Miss Alison Whitworth. I'll be translating for you if you have any questions for her.
Okay. Oh, she's deaf.
Should we just get on with it?
Yeah, okay. What can you tell me about the explosion?
About the explosion? Well, pretty much what everyone else knows about it. I don't really know what you want me to say. You must know everything that I do.
Where were you when it happened?
I was having a smoke in the courtyard. Luckily, I wasn't close enough to the blast, but I saw the whole thing.
Okay. Where was Alison Whitworth?
Probably in her office.
I'm not really understanding her significance. Could you ask, please?
Room 105. Anything else, Mr. Miller?
Room 105? What happened here the day after the attack?
Well, nothing. We weren't allowed back into the premises for over a week. Even then, only a handful of us were here to make sure things carried on running. The police were still here, and a detective was snooping around. I couldn't do anything without someone watching over me, or telling me to log what I was doing. Whatever they found, they didn't share it with me. I read it in the paper like everyone else.
Real convenient. What do you think caused the explosion?
Some kind of bomb, I guess, on the gas lines. At least that's what the news said. We have a report of the official findings downstairs somewhere.
Does Alison know what caused it?
Don't you believe me?
Just ask the goddamn question. Something about typing. Oh, that little sound, the thing at the end, like the explosion.
Yeah, basically the gas line.
Why do I not believe that?
She says he wrote some kind of code that overheated the servers.
Okay,
she
yeah,
thinks.
exactly. We saw that.
He was a talented coder, much as I hate to admit it. He found out that the servers were close to a gas line that came from an external propane store, and Well, you know the rest.
Alex Dubois didn't overheat the servers.
What? Where did you get that? I thought the police had taken all of the archive data for their
Yeah,
investigation.
he's the one that informed everyone about it.
So, the servers had been overheating for almost a year. How was this a thing without me knowing about it?
It was it was Alex Dubois' server and his responsibility.
Right. So, couldn't he have been making them overheat for nearly a year?
Yeah, but then why would he report it to you?
Isn't that the same thing? He wrote some bad code and waited it out. I don't see how that's any different. Either way, Alex found a way to blow up the servers and get vengeance for his family.
He had no motive a year ago. His family were fine then. Great point.
Okay, I see your point. So, then maybe he...
Oh, it's all falling apart on
I can't wrap my
him.
head around this. I know Alex did it, so this must be some kind of...
You don't know, you think.
I don't know.
Exactly. You don't know, you think. People want to believe Dubois did it.
A moment ago, you were probably wondering if I did it, weren't you?
I wonder if anyone's done it.
Look, I can't talk for anyone else, but I don't know what to say. This changes a few things. Are you just trying to catch me out?
I'm just asking questions.
Do you actually care about this, Mr. Miller?
Just asking questions, man. Tell Alison Whitworth thank you for that. Okay. What is Silhouette?
It's a piece of software. We call it Digital Shadow Casting. DSC for short.
Oh.
Silhouette is its working title.
Okay, that's why we see two different entries.
Sorry, I know not everybody talks nerd, but do you understand technology, or you want me to elaborate a little?
In English would be great.
Sure. It installs a background OS that copies any and all information used on a computer. After a certain amount of data is gathered, or after a certain time, the data is packaged and sent to the Silhouette server in the basement, where we collate and serialize the data however we'd like. We have an algorithm that can highlight pertinent tagged matches, commerce, economics, political values, home living, etc. We sort it all and then macroanalyze the nation's preferences. It's pretty amazing, really, and we're the first company to make use of the tech.
Are you allowed to be telling me this?
What did you think we did here? I mean, really, it's all written in black and white. The Union Act, Mr. Miller. The country is about to vote it in.
The Union Act is about immigration, isn't it?
Well, yeah, part of it, sure.
I don't understand. What makes an immigrant illegal?
You'd have to read the Union Act for yourself. I'm not a lawyer or a politician, Mr. Miller.
Okay.
It's not something I'm happy getting into.
Do you agree with what you do?
It's all legal. The Union Act is a contract. If people want it, they vote for it. Other than that, I just do my job and try to keep my head down.
Legal and ethical are two different things. I don't think that people realize what they're voting for.
How so?
Public aren't protesting about information.
That's because they're focused on immigration. They really shouldn't be.
How are the two things linked?
I mean, we gather information on people in the system. If they're not a part of the system, if they don't have a national insurance number, there's nothing to gather. It's just common sense. You can't crunch the data if you can't gather it. But the Act is so much bigger than that. You read the news and everyone thinks we're... The immigrant problem is just a small byproduct of the Act. Processing data is what it's really all about. And the Silhouette is how we do that. Trust the news to completely miss the point.
So, anyone you can't spy on is illegal.
That's a very crude way of putting it.
But is it true?
That's the basic idea, sure.
Right. How are you getting away with all this?
We're not getting away with anything. We're doing our jobs. Speaking for myself, I'm not here to school the mob outside on what I do for a living. I see them every day, screaming, shouting, hurling objects at my staff. They can't be reasoned with. They can't be made to understand because they've already made up their minds. And the newspapers haven't cottoned on either. It's not my fault. And it sure as hell is not my problem.
So you're fine with this?
I'm saying I'm not responsible.
Yeah, you're just like hands off, no big
That's
deal. Got it. Cool.
Very
Thanks.
different.
Yeah, sure.
Now, should we move on?
What is Bowman's role in all of this?
What's Bowman's role in all of this? Or what's Bowman like as a person?
Both.
That's what you really want to ask, right?
Why don't you give me an overview?
Well, I'm not going to get into details, but he's basically the commander-in-chief. If it wasn't for him, none of this would be happening. All of the software, all of the Union Ag promotion, it all starts here. Charles Bowman created all of it.
I thought Michael Carson started with him. His name's in the title. And Scarlett mentioned that in the very beginning, too.
Yeah, sure, but
Getting stressed?
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, of course.
After, after. Well, he died in the explosion. I'm sure you know all of this. But Bowman was the one who really held it all together. His company's grown exponentially since he took over, and we're all grateful.
I wonder if this was all a way for them to get rid of Michael. Like, maybe he was impeding some of the direction that they wanted to take. And they were like, we got to get rid of Michael. How can we do it? It has to be an accident. Have to pin it on somebody, blah, blah, blah.
Well, enough not to want to tarnish his memory, Mr. Miller. Next question.
Do you like the way the company's run now?
I do. I'm basically second in command now.
So you got a
I have a
promotion.
lot of responsibilities. The company has a more singular set of goals now, and I'm happy to be a part of that.
So you share Charles Bowman's views.
About the company? Sure. I wouldn't be very good at my job if I didn't, would I?
How would you say yours and Charles Bowman's views line up?
Well, in short, I think, hang on. What do you already know? You haven't spoken to Charles Bowman yet, am I right?
Not yet, but I will be after this meeting. Nice.
Jesus. You're trying to get me to say something that'll get you a better answer in your next meeting, aren't you?
Maybe.
I should have known. Very good, Mr. Miller. Very good. I'm not biting, though.
I'm just trying to ask interesting questions for my book, Mr. Crow.
Yeah, sure. And I'm just sat here giving you ammunition.
What does Alison think?
I'm not even gonna entertain that one. Let's carry on with something else, shall we? Try to ask relevant questions, please.
I got one more. You talked about change in your moment of silence.
I'm not sure if that's a question or...
What change? You said people were scared. What of?
Well, people are scared of things they don't understand. That's all. I think the key thing to take from this is that if you want to make the country better, then you can't be frightened to offend a few minorities. That's the best way I can put it.
What might offend them?
What doesn't offend them?
What does?
The most common thing I hear is that people are going to be kicked out of the country. Now, I can't help that from happening, so I try to avoid letting it affect my work. But I hear it over and over, like no one wants to admit the border control problem. Let me put it like this. You leave your window open in your house one summer's day and a whole bunch of flies come in. You try to remove them, but the flies are coming in faster than you can get them out. Do you want to keep trying to catch the flies, Mr. Miller? Or do you perhaps want to think about shutting the window?
I think it's... The definition is more than a little worrying, Mr. Crow.
I shouldn't have expected you to understand, Mr. Miller.
Comparing, like, immigrants to
Excuse
flies
me,
and stuff.
Mr. Crow. I need to have a word with you.
Can it wait, Dan? I'm in the middle of something here.
I'm aware of that. That's what I want to talk to you about.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Uh-oh. Are we in trouble?
Why are you here?
Ongoing investigation about what? Bowman building silhouette server Payon 1? She's on something. Yes. Okay, I got it. Yes. Put it away, don't get in trouble.
Right. It's come to my attention that you may have been collecting sensitive information in that briefcase of yours.
What?
I'm gonna need you to hand them over, please. I'm gonna pass them along to Charles Bowman, and when or if you have your meeting, he can decide what he wants to do with them.
Steve, please take Mr. Miller's belongings
No way.
over to Mr. Bowman's office.
This is bullshit.
Sorry about this.
Oh, and we'll also need that dossier of yours.
Are you kidding me? They're just controlling
Right.
everything, these pricks.
Well, Mr. Miller, it seems as though this meeting is over. I'll look forward to hearing what Charles Bowman has to say about what you've been up to.
Great.
Get him out of my sight.
Right, Mr. Miller. Let's go.
Busted.
Keep it down, Charles. You wake the children.
I don't see what you're going to achieve by keeping your share. Why not just sign it over to me? We both want the same thing here.
We don't want the same thing, though, do we? You don't mind if hundreds of people lose their home in the process?
Yes. But
No, there's no grey here. There's a very clear answer.
I don't believe that.
Charles, voice.
I don't believe that. What are you going to do when there are protests calling for this company's dismantling? What will you do then? Oh, maybe you always wanted this to fail. You're risking jeopardizing all of Michael's work. You always resented him for working such long hours. If he wasn't trying to get the changes you wanted in, then he'd probably still be here.
Get out.